Did you know? If your organization sends small value transactions through the ACH network to validate accounts, new ACH rules requirements clearly specify important do's and don'ts pertaining to the amounts that can be sent, standardized formatting requirements, sending requirements, and risk management. Here's what you need to know to remain compliant with the rules change. Approved in January of 2022, these types of small value transactions, sometimes called test transactions, microtransactions, or penny transactions, now have an official name and definition in the ACH rules, as well as newly defined requirements which are being implemented in 2 phases. Let's look at Phase 1, which is effective September 16th of 2022. Starting off with the definition. Microentries will be defined in the rules as ACH credits of less than $1 and any offsetting ACH debits used for the purpose of verifying a receiver's account. In this case, for example, you could have a company that wants to debit a new customer's account via ACH, but before doing so, instead of sending a pre-note to validate their account, the company opts to send the customer 10 cents through the network. If the customer receives the 10 cents without any problems, the company then moves forward with setting up the future ACH payment plan. Just like the rules don't require companies to send microentries, they also do not require companies to send offsetting debits if they choose to send microentry credits. However, be careful if you decide to do so. You will need to be sure that regardless of the number of microentry credits and debits you send through the network, once everything settles, the result cannot be a net debit to the customer. Let's draw this out. Say ABC Company sends to its new customer 3 credits of 5, 10, and 15 cents respectively, so a total of 30 cents, and then sends a 50-cent offsetting debit. Because 30 cents minus the 50-cent debit leaves the customer in the hole by 20 cents, they would be in violation of the rules. However, if the company sent a 50-cent credit as well as a 30-cent and a 20-cent debit, it would be a wash and they'd be compliant with the rules. You could choose any sort of methodology you want regarding the microentries. Send only credits for verification purposes, or 1 credit and 1 offsetting debit, or 3 credits and 1 debit. It doesn't matter. The key factor in remaining compliant is the result of the transactions cannot be a net debit to the receiver's account. Now there are some parameters around sending practices you need to follow. No matter how many debits and corresponding credits you decide to send, they must be sent at the same time and use the same effective entry date to limit the impact on the receiver's account balance. Also, regardless of credit or debit, all microentries must use the description ACCT verify. The sender of that credit or debit must also be recognizable to the receiver and be the same or similar to what will be used in future transactions. Once the validating process has been completed, the originating company may begin sending future transactions with appropriate SEC codes. All the rules requirements we just discussed are effective September 16th of 2022, which is Phase 1 of the rules change. This includes entry description, company name, amounts do not net negative, and if sending credits and debits, they are sent simultaneously with the same effective date. Phase 2 of this rules change is effective March 17th of 2023 and requires companies sending microentries to use commercially reasonable methods to recognize and prevent suspicious and fraudulent activity. Originating companies should be watching for unusual activity by monitoring volumes of microentries sent and returned, as well as looking to see if the same or similar account number, such as the one that has been padded with zeros, is being used many times or for more than one customer. As with any rules change, it's best to act before the implementation date. Start reaching out to your IT staff to determine if your organization is sending microentries, how you are sending them, and how they are formatted. Contact your financial institution to determine how your microentry activity will be monitored. Map out your implementation plan, considering your system's requirements. Update your policies, procedures, and documentation. And lastly, don't forget to test with all applicable parties and train your staff on the new changes. Still seem a little fuzzy? Reach out to us by phone, email, or website chat, and we'd be happy to answer your microentry or any other type of payments-related questions.